Now, we know that if you go to Yankee Stadium this year, you're going to get to see Aaron Judge play, unless it's a maintenance day. But if you go to Yankee Stadium next year, I'm not prepared to say that you won't see Aaron Judge play wearing pinstripes. But Tiki is getting interesting here. Based on what he rejected contractually, based on his clear ability to compartmentalize the internal struggle, which is real for an athlete chasing that sort of transformative money.
Yep.
And right now, he is on pace for 61 home runs, 128 ribbies, 40-plus doubles, 115 runs scored. He's got 8 bombs in the last 10 games. Yankees look great. He might be the best center fielder on the team.
Yeah.
This is getting interesting.
Well, you talked about the pressure that Aaron Judge might feel because of the contract situation. And you can just tell with certain athletes that pressure is something that they thrive upon. Now, I know we had a caller yesterday, and people are always thinking this about Aaron Judge. Oh, he's injury prone. He's going to get injured. And before you know it, he's going to cost himself $100 million because of his inability to stay healthy. But we did this a couple months ago, maybe a month or so ago, before the season actually started. When you look at Aaron Judge's injury history, it's kind of like it's freakish.
Well, circumstantial?
Yeah. Because,
diving in the outfield.
Diving in the out and then playing through it for, a month or so.
Are we to call that a misdiagnosis? Well, I think we
kind of have to,
yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden it becomes such an issue that he ends up having to, miss time. And, he gets injured. And then he gets a freak calf injury for a monster athlete to have a calf injury. It's a little bit rare. But really, that's it. And then you throw in the COVID day, but everybody had COVID over the last couple of years, and he missed some time. But it's not anything that you look at and say, God, he's got really soft, bad cell guy, as I would say. He's got soft tissue injuries. He's got joint issues. There's none of that with Aaron Judge. Yes, he's 30 years old at this point, or about to be 30 years old.
Just turned 30.
Yep, and it feels like he's too old to get a big time deal, $300+ million, whatever it may be. But Aaron Judge is going out and proving that I wanted to bet on myself. I wanted to be a free agent, and I'm going to prove it every single time I step up to the plate or we play a game or in a meaningful situation. And he's starting to show that. This is 8 straight games he's had a hit in, and some of these bombs that he's hitting are just they're majestic.
They're Aaron Judge home runs.
They're Aaron Judge home runs.
It's a showstopper.
It's who we saw a few years ago when he was an MVP, top MVP candidate, finished second, and just he dominates at bats. And even though he'll strike out his fair amount of times.
Yep.
But when he connects, and he changes the complexion of the game for the Yankees. That is powerful.
Because not only with the literal home run, which clearly changes the game for the Yankees on the scoreboard, but the at bat last night, Yanks it down 1-0. Hicks gets, but I don't. And listen, I don't mind I like the aggression on the bases.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure I'm sending Hicks there, or maybe he went on his own. He got thrown out, and then Judge hits the bomb, and you can see Hicks on. Yes, he was ticked off at himself, and who knows if he's pitched the same? Maybe it's not a home run. Whatever. Yeah. But I don't like that because even if Hicks is successful, there's a good chance they pitch around Aaron Judge, which to me is just not necessarily smart baseball from the Yankees' point of view.
Just leave him on first and let Aaron Judge do what Aaron Judge does.
Let him try to swing for the fences. Yeah. But that was a great at bat against a really good pitcher who just dominates everybody, including the Yankees, for a young kid. And, the residual impact that Judge has on the lineup, to your point, is that, he's going to strike out a lot. I think he's on pace for 185 or whatever it is. But he sees a lot of pitches. He makes pitchers work because even when Judge comes up in the first inning, it's relatively a high leverage situation because you've got to be perfect with him.
That's right.
And I can't quantify the extra taxing on the arm, blah, blah, blah. But I know that when Judge digs in, the pitcher's got to stiffen up a little bit, and he makes everybody better.
You make a mistake, like I forget the who was it? What was the pitcher for the Blue Jays last night? I forget his name.
Cishek,
but
with those stupid pants, like he's going like he's a punter.
But he makes a mistake.
How do you wear pants like that? It's like a trend in baseball now.
I don't know,
like right below the knee. I can't stand that.
That's what I would do.
Looks awful.
That's how I used to love.
Yeah, but you play football.
I mean baseball. When I play baseball,
no, you're missing. No, I'm not talking about where they're high. Like Jim Tomei. I'm talking about where they're almost cut off and they're like spandex and they are touching the kneecap. It's a very strange look.
Yeah, I agree. But
it's like a football OTA
look. But he also
Weird.
He just wants freedom of his Like, he just doesn't want to be encumbered
I
by
guess,
any
well,
fabric around it.
Didn't work last night.
All right, brass tacks here, BT.
Yes.
We're talking Aaron Judge, but it's not really about how
Rise.
amazing he's been, because we know he's been amazing. It's really, what do you do? Right? The contract that everybody speculated about. If you're the Yankees, are you now regretting not coming correct, at least as it pertains to how Aaron Judge would feel?
No.
Like, we don't know what the counters were. We don't know what Aaron Judge's camp asked for. That hasn't come out. We just know what was offered because the Yankees spilt it. But the question remains, did they make a mistake not getting this thing done? Because if Aaron Judge plays like this for the rest of the season, somebody's coming with an enormous offer for him.
Oh, there's no question. And even if there's going to be a downtick, he's not going to hit, I don't think, 61 home runs, which he's on pace for. It's cyclical. You never know.
There's
52 as a rookie.
There's some bad teams.
There are.
In their division.
Baseball's a little different.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Not even to get in, but I can't stand how the baseball is different every single year. Imagine if, like, the NBA players came back, and every year it's like, well, the rim is 2 inches taller or 2 inches higher. Oh, this year it's an inch and a half lower. Just so odd. It bothers me.
It is.
Because it does affect contracts.
It does.
Because you don't know what's real.
But it also affects, approaches at the plate. Like, somebody was talking about this. I forgot what I was listening to about Jeff McNeil.
I love McNeil.
But how he's just given up on trying to hit home runs.
Well, McNeil himself said it.
Exactly.
I went back to hitting singles.
And now he's hitting 350.
I think he's hitting 360.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I've always liked McNeil.
But a couple years ago, he's like, I'm going to swing for the fence. And you're right. It just changes. The really good ones can change. They can adapt to what they're given, like the situation that they find themselves in. And Jeff McNeil is definitely that. Aaron Judge, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, though.
You ask me, will the Yankees or should the Yankees regret, not coming better? Or no, my answer is still no, and I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, no matter what Judge does this year, I strongly believe, if not guarantee, Aaron Judge and his camp will go back to the Yankees before they sign elsewhere. Let's say the Angels come, I don't know, let's throw something great, $309 million, $310. The Yankees will have a chance to go 311. Now, I'm not so sure that they should for all the reasons we've spoken about, age, whatever. But he is not going to sign without giving the Yankees one more swing, number one. Number two, in a perfect world, these numbers continue. The Yankees continue to roll. They're a very different team, and the metrics back that up. Contact rate, defensive metrics, what you and I touched on yesterday.
That's right.
They're a better baseball team. They're faster, they're catching the ball better, and they're hitting the ball with more frequency, which leads to stealing a couple of runs, right? So if that continues, everyone's going to be happy because the Yankees aren't getting knocked out of a wild card if this is the case. Yankees will go deep. And then there's baseball randomness, and you can't predict that. But I think that the Yankees will be motivated to add money, whether it's an extra year and sprinkle another, I don't know, $30, $40 million throughout the length of the deal and name him captain. And I do believe that is still the path for Judge to remain in New York, which I think he will. And not in Queens, in the Bronx.
That's the X factor that the Yankees have over any other team. Is, other teams can say, yeah, you're going to be our. It doesn't mean the same.
No.
Right? It doesn't mean the same if it comes from the Yankees. But the question is, will Aaron Judge value that? Or will he say, I want my money? I think the Yankees.
Pulling Ari Gold, bleep you pay me.
I think they did what they felt they had to do. Not thinking that they were going to get Aaron Judge emotionally and on the cheap and for a hometown discount. But they should have known better, because for a guy who's as aged as he is, and I'm not saying he's old, but he's been around for a minute, to have been under control for that long, and then to come, I don't know, a little bit soft to what he expected. They're going to get whatever they deserve.
But I didn't think it was soft on opening day.
Yeah,
I know that you did. I get that. I didn't think it was soft.
But it's soft relative to what he would get as a free agent. Think about this as football, and we talk about this all the time with quarterbacks. The reason that quarterbacks just get these stupid exponential contracts is because they start negotiating on what they'll get paid next year, right? It's like, oh, you franchised me. Great. Now we're starting on the franchise plus 40%, whatever it is. That's what the negotiation is. And I think from Aaron Judge's standpoint and his team's standpoint, that's what they did. It was like, all right, You want to start with the arbitration number? We're not even looking at the arbitration number. We're looking at Aaron Judge as a free agent. That's the starting point. The Yankees did it on the arbitration number, and
they even nickel and dimed on the arbitration number.
That's right.
Because remember, they wanted 17, he wanted 21. I think it was.
That's right. And maybe that.
Although when I'm sorry, go ahead, Teak.
Yeah, but you're right. Ultimately, when they came with the contract, they'll say, "Look, we'll kick up an extra $4 million, which is nothing."
That's where I was going.
I mean, they get that in jersey sales from Aaron Judge.
Oh, for sure.
But they calculated and made a little mistake that's gonna. It's not going to cost them. It's not like they're going to lose anything, but it's going to cost them from their pocketbook. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest thing that Aaron Judge is looking for.
Now, there are mistakes that can be rectified, and I think if you even view the first contract as a mistake, that can be rectified. Then there are mistakes where a player or a person feels disrespected to the point where...
But if they're winning, that won't be the case.
You know, I would tend to agree. But I feel like Judge took it a little personally, and he should.
He definitely did.
That's fine.
He absolutely did. And
motivation.
And he was upset that they leaked it, the contract.
And that I agree with.
Offer. But if the Yankees are winning and it just feels good, I think that's how you best help, from a Yankee standpoint, keep him as a New York Yankee.
Okay, 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney show here on The Fan. We've got newest Jet, Long Island kid. This is going to be sweet. Jeremy Rucker, tight end for the Jets at 11:30. Yankee tickets coming up at 12:20 a little later. We're inside the Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. So we're talking Yanks. We're talking Judge. Mets will get to you later. This is also all day the Rangers vent line. I mean, it's one thing. I think you'd almost rather lose the game 4-1. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially when you come out and you just... destroy a team in the first period. You own them.
Yeah, but
and then you lose 5 hours later.
But it flipped in the second.
Oh, I know it did.
The second period was
but
completely
at least,
different scenario.
I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority, but if you watched this whole game, you're a big fan. Would you rather have lost 4-1 last night or the way you lost? I'm just curious before we get to the phones.
Yeah, I have to be honest because as soon as that play happened, the goal that got disallowed happened.
Yep.
I really was like, this is. I know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
So
wait, what do you mean you know how it's going to end? Why'd you say that? Yeah, it's just he's
a defeatist because he's been a Mets fan for so long.
What does that mean? You know how it's going to end. What is that?
The screw the Rangers button came out as Boomer talks about it. It's true. Things were not going away. Listen, the Rangers weren't playing well in the overtime.
No, they looked tired. They looked a little tired.
They were still fast at the Penguins, but they just were making a lot more mistakes. They didn't get any shots on net. So even though they had, for the first OT, they had plenty puck possession, but they didn't shoot it all.
There were nothing on net.
You saw the wheels moving. They had everything going on. Even the backup goalie comes in, the third string goalie comes in, and you just knew
you
that.
Pamper that guy.
And by the way, that benefited them.
Of course,
because he's fresh, he's eager, the excitement, the energy is there,
and you got to remember too. This is always in hockey when the backup goalie comes in, the team plays differently around that goalie because they know they can't allow as many good shots.
Now, Hoff, that's a good 2-minute soliloquy. Can you actually answer my question? Would you rather lose?
Yes. Yesterday's game. Because I'm very tired today, yes, I would prefer to lose 4-1 in regular.
That's all I needed there, brother. 877.
You're welcome.
Thank you. 877-337-6666. Glen Rock, New Jersey. David gets us going on The Fan with Tiki and Tierney. What up, Dave?
I like that and lead off. I love it.
Bat and lead off. Now batting for The Fan. Go ahead, Dave.
Guys, I just thank you for taking my call, Tiki.
Yeah.
I want to first thank you for all the years of memories as a Giant fan, man. I
appreciate you,
I
brother.
wish you could put that uniform back on and we can see.
I could. I just couldn't take the hits. I mean, I'd do it. I'd look sweet.
Hey, listen, I don't know. He might put it on for his wife once in a while. Never know.
TMI, BT.
I said might.
What's up, Dave?
BT, you started by saying, you said the Rangers vent line. This isn't a matter of venting. There's a problem here inherent in all sports with replays.
Yeah.
Replays are not there to do what happened last night. Replays, if most people, 99% of the people, my friends, my group chats, reading the articles online, everybody agrees that call could have gone either way.
Yes.
So if the call on the ice is a goal, how do you reverse that?
Yeah.
And I would have felt the same way if it was called a non-goal and then they gave it to the Rangers and I was a Pittsburgh fan, I would have been nuts. So how do you go and change a call like that that's so important in a playoff game? That's not why replay is there. Replay is there for like the guy, I forgot his name, so many years ago that almost threw the the perfect game. Galarraga.
With the Tigers. I think it was Armando Galarraga, right? Was that his first name?
Yeah. That's what replay is there for.
Well, no. Replay's there to get everything right. And I'm not saying that. And by the way, it happened in the Toronto Blue Jays Yankees game with Marwin Gonzalez. 100%. The Yankees got lucky twice. Number one, he tagged him.
100%.
And number two, he ran out of the baseline by 6 feet.
That's true.
But I'm sitting there. I'm watching. I'm waiting for the official to come with the ruling. I'm saying,
yep.
There's no way that, and not because I'm a Ranger fan.
No, I got you. Listen, Dave.
Go either way. You got to call it a goal.
Yeah,
go ahead. You're not the first fan that's frustrated.
It's like that. There's not enough evidence to overturn.
Yeah,
now,
that's an annoying.
The problem was there was a penalty on the Rangers. There's a penalty on the Rangers, which then led to the goalie interference, and then you nullify the goal, but then you can't add the penalty. So you might as well just leave it alone. And that's why Rangers fans are upset.
They should be,
because it was egregious on all levels, and there was no way to mitigate it other than to wipe it off. But wiping it off is unfair.
Yeah, no. Listen, you pissed off about that, but also pissed off that you played so well to start and you let the Penguins back in the game.
That's right.
I mean, it works both ways.